Hi, my name's Francesca,
My name's Taylor.
and today we're going to be talking about the Watts family murder case.
On August 13, 2018, Chris Watts killed his wife Shanann and his two daughters, Bella and Celeste, and threw their bodies into an oil tank.
Chris and Shanann got married on November 3rd, 2012, and later had two kids, Celeste and Bella. They had been married for 6 years before the murders. It was known that Chris's parents and Shanann did not get along with each other, leading to Chris's parents not attending their wedding in 2012. These issues continued in July of 2018 when Shanann and the two kids went on a family trip to North Carolina to visit Chris's parents.
Shanann and Cindy, Chris's mom, had an argument as Shanann was mad when Cindy had given Celeste ice cream which she was allergic to. Shanann was kicked out of Cindy's house after the argument, and this caused Shanann to tell Chris she did not want his parents seeing their kids until there was an apology. Fast forward a couple of days later, and Chris arrived and met up with his family in North Carolina. Shanann had texted her friend saying how it had been a month since her husband had saw each other and he barely touched her, and how he was acting weird.
Shanann started to believe that her husband was having an affair and soon found bank statements from when she was gone on her trip to Arizona that supported this allegation. Shanann previously had called Chris out on this, and it always ended with him denying her accusations that she made. On August 13th, 2018, Shanann came home from the trip upset, and that morning was missing along with her two kids. It was later found that in Chris's statement that he had been having an affair with his coworker Nicole Kessinger.
Have you ever wondered if your friend or family member was lying straight to your face? Well, now you don't have to stay curious. With the brand new game by Hasbro, you can see if your friend is lying to you or not. It's so easy to play, even a kid can do it. All you have to do is stick your hand on the detector pad, and if it lights up, you'll know if someone's lying. So get yours today with the code POD, P-O-D, at checkout for 20% off. That's code POD at checkout, P-O-D-E, for 20% off. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode.
Chris and Shanann Watts lived in Frederick, Colorado with their two children, Celeste, who was 3, and Bella, who was 4. On August 13th, 2018, in the early morning, Shanann's friend Nicole Atkinson dropped her off at their house after they had recently gone on a trip to Arizona. Later in that day, Nicole reached out to Shanann, making sure she got to her doctor's appointment okay. She had gotten no response back.
This concerned Nicole, so after receiving no message back, she went to the Watts house to see if everything was okay. This led to Nicole calling 911 due to Shanann's belongings, such as medicine and her cell phone, which was turned off at the house, but no sign of anyone home. Shortly after police arrived, so did Chris Watts, and this indicated the search for Shanann and the two kids.
Throughout the case, many people had noted on Chris's odd behavior, leading the police to overall believe Chris had done something to his wife and his kids. A polygraph test that the FBI had given him, which also indicated that he killed them, he had completely failed. Overall, Chris continued to lie, creating some sort of story up, not only to others, but also to himself. And after everything, he was found guilty due to all the evidence found. On November 6, 2018, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to 9 crime counts, which included murder, the unlawful termination of pregnancy, and tampering with dead bodies.
Prosecutors agreed to not sentence him to the death penalty, as it was recorded that Shanann's parents had asked God to have mercy on Chris. On November 19, 2018, Chris was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. Judge Marcelo Capcal stated that this case had been the most inhumane and vicious crime that he had encountered. On top of the sentence to life in prison, Chris was also told he had to pay Shanann's family $6 million, three for the murders of his wife and kids, and three for the emotional damage that he had left her family with.
Overall, I think that Chris Watts was crazy, and I don't understand how you'd be able to do that with your family. In interviews, Watts had described himself as feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from his family, which I think psychologically overall drew him to kill his family and have really like no remorse for it. It appears in the statements made and like videos found that he was also manipulating the narrative of his life, and he had come up with some sort of story that Shanann had killed his kids and that's why he killed Shanann. And I think that story he tried to make himself believe along with others, showing how his psychological like self, like he was trying to manipulate himself along with everyone else. His actions were also calculated. He did it on purpose. He didn't kill anyone on accident. You can't throw someone's body into an oil tank on accident. It just shows how calculated it was, and he didn't really take responsibility for it in the end. He kind of just tried to blame it on everybody else.
Yeah, no, I think it's really sad, and he just has like no empathy, like a sociopath. Because a lot of people that study this case have suggested that he was like a narcissist and like that he didn't have empathy. Because I just don't get how you can kill your two children, like that you brought into the world, and then dump them in an oil tank. And his ability to lie so convincingly in public about his missing family, even after committing the murders and knowing what he did, where they were, it really suggests a deep detachment from like the reality of his actions.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Thank you.